Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to show you a game between Ding Liren and Alexander Grischuk. I didn't do any video for Caruana Giri, which you already seen. So this is kind of remaining chances for the winners. As you can see, that Nepo is calculated to have 87% probability to win the tournament, to be the first, and Anish only 9%. Well, this is because for the remaining two rounds, Giri should earn more than Nepo for 1 point. Yeah, so if they play. If Nepo makes 2 draws, so he is if he makes 2 draws, then Anish need to win both games. If somehow Nepo wins 1 game and 1 draw, then he is already in the match against Magnus. So this particular game didn't have any influence on the final rank, final standings, but I decided to make this video. So let's see the game. And Ding Liren is not having a great tournament. He is minus 2 now. Definitely not what we expected from him. Many claimed that he is like favorite. But very unfortunate tournament for him. That probably because he started it very badly when he was in self-isolation for 2 weeks and looked really like powerless to play. But this was 1 year ago. This year he plays a little bit more successful. He is just on 50% currently from 5 games. This is also not a good result for him. Alexander is not fighting for anything decent. He had his chances, but definitely not his tournament as well. So Ding is playing white, and d4, d5, c4, e6, knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7. This is, I think, for d4, this is the most standard position whatsoever. This is queen's gambit declined, and classical position. Grischuk once said that actually this queen's gambit is one of the most sharpest openings you can play. It's more sharp than, I don't know, Najdorf. Because he said this after a game against Duda, and it was really extremely complicated. Well, chess is extremely complicated. I think that is why from any dull opening you can get like extremely sharp position. So bishop f4, castle, c3, and c5. So in this position, whoever plays black should be very, very patient, because when white closes the center, then the center will be closed forever. And so it's like blinking contest. Yeah, whoever blinks first, he loses. So something like that happened in this game. Knight h5. I saw this position many times. It was played by everybody, I guess, by Kramnik, by Anand, by Hikaru, by Carlsen. Everyone just tried something here. I think the reason is that white is very, very solid. So you can't possibly lose this game with white if you're a decent player. So bishop d3. exchange. this pawn here, it's double pawn, but in this kind of position, you might not want to play e4. So this pawn here gains a lot of space in the king side, and also this is valuable square for your pieces, so you can maneuver better. And black starts a counterattack on the queen side, b6 and a3. So it's considered that if black takes, then this position, let's say, is better for white, because they have more space and they will utilize this line. So if you play in black, it's not recommended to exchange these pawns here. c6, castles, and bishop a6. So likewise in French defense, in Queen's Gambit, this also light square bishop is quite bad, and with this maneuver to a6, even black can lose a couple of tempi, so they still better off from this exchange of the light square bishops. Knight a2. So this is a move previously played by Grischuk with white. This is some kind of long maneuvering game. Queen c7, h4, also played by Grischuk against Wesley So. The position reminds as well this plan from Ruy Lopez for white. White is not hurrying things, but at some point they will just start offense on the king side, and given that they have a lot of material here, something will come up. They just playing for strategic attack. h6, g3, and bishop c4. This is a typical maneuver, so you are able to fix your bishop on c4. This is actually, I like this move, that Grischuk didn't capture this bishop on d3. Now actually this light square bishop of black is quite good. Bishop c2 and b5. So again, if white takes, then black has no problems. This protected passed pawn will be very strong, and in the endgame black will not have any problems. So b5, rook f e1, just putting it on the semi-open file, probably f5 at some point is one of the black's ideas. In this position, Engine was saying that black is doing very, very well, and I was thinking that maybe black can also play for win, but I think that this position is not completely understood by the ancients, because it's very, very closed, and it's only white who's playing for win here. Rook a7, so black takes the a file, knight to c3, and rook b1. So because in this position black is threatening to take on b4, and if you retake, then your rook on a1 is attacked. So Ding plays rook b1, takes, and he exchanged the bishop. Grischuk exchanged the bishop, but I don't really like this move. I think that you can leave it here. Rook a3 was, I think, a little bit more interesting, and you pin this knight on c3, and you start like the offense on the white position. But Grischuk decided that he can capture the bishop right now. Again, the position of black is fine. h5, standard move, just to fix this structure. maybe at some point play g4, g5 and attack the h6 then. Rook a3, queen c2, and bishop e7. So the problem for black here is this terrible lack of space. As in many instances, black has two knights, but with close center, knights are actually very good. And this bishop here is definitely, it's not his position. And these two pieces, they have to move away to give each other this only square they can maneuver from. So bishop e8, e7 is moved just to let the knight to f6. g2, again goes back, bishop d8. Like basically black is just waiting what white will do. Rook c2 and rook b1. So so Ding Liren is maneuvering his pieces, and he takes the second rank. So now he doesn't have to worry about black rook entering like I don't know, a1, because at any point white can just exchange all the pieces and also win this line, the a file. So bishop d8, knight b1, nice attacking the rook. Rook goes back, and knight a5. This is very annoying because black, as we will see, doesn't want to take, because they like play without one piece. Yeah, you see that the valuation here is 1.8 for white, and so black cannot exchange these knights. And the problem also with the c6 pawn, that if you cannot exchange this knight, then you have to use one of your like pieces to defend c6 queen or rook, but it's very inefficient, you know, just to keep the one of your major pieces to defend just a small pawn. So knight f6 cannot exchange the knights as I suggested. Knight d2, knight b3. At this point, both sides were in time trouble. Grischuk was thinking very much. I really don't know whether he used all his time properly. I think that he could play a little bit faster here, because he made his 40th move on the 3 seconds, and he actually made some mistakes in time trouble. So I don't know. I never played on this. I'm not the GM, but somehow I really don't see how Grischuk spent all his time, because all these problems, I mean, they're very typical for this position, and we don't have like so much tactics going on here. So I'd say he could play a little bit better, a little bit faster. So G4 now. White starts slow push on the king side, but very unpleasant. Now white threatens g5. Again, engine says that black is totally okay. Rook a6 and f3, lifting the position, as they say, moving pawns forward and preparing maybe king to g3, just grabbing more space. Knight f6, king f2. And here Ding decides to exchange the rooks. So rook a3, this move was made on 3 seconds. The engine suggests that rook a4 might be a little bit better, but I think this is playable. And queen d2. again, the white's main idea is to play g5 and play g6, and this attack suddenly becomes very annoying. So Grischuk was, and black doesn't have any counterplay, so this is a problem. And Grischuk took this knight. Sometimes when you play, you just tired of defending, and you always calculate that what this knight will do. Now it attacks c6, and he just, I think he was so tired just defending from this attack on c6, so he decided to take this, but it's actually a big mistake. It's a losing move because obviously if white takes here, then it's total draw, because just this knight here doesn't have any squares to attack, but Ding of course took with this pawn. He has this a lot of energy to push, and also d4 square for his knight, which will attack the c6. So this is losing. And f6. Grischuk wasn't in time trouble, but he decided that okay, he didn't see any other choice than to play counterattack, but it's losing immediately. e5 takes. So if he takes with the pawn, for instance, then knight to d4. I think he was. It was not the Grischuk's day, because he's considered to be a very good defender in this top level tournaments, but somehow I don't think he will consider it a good defense. So because f6, he could wait for a little bit longer, but Angel just says that white is winning anyway. e5 takes, e4 and queen c3, like offering an exchange of queens. If white doesn't exchange, then somehow just killing with g5, h6, h7 and mate. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.